Today I would like to just have a brief conversation about learning to love when you're hurting. I recently had such an experience. My brother Desmond, the next in line, Desmond was older than me. We got a call that he wasn't very well. He'd come out of hospital, but he wasn't responding very well, and they'd put him on palliative care. And we were told that it wasn't good. And when we got this information, we started to look for flights. My brother was in the UK, and we couldn't get a Ryanair flight. They'd all gone. So we could only get an evening flight, which we did. And long story short, we didn't get in till 2:30 on the Monday that Desmond sadly died. And he died at 10 o'clock. And for sure, both my wife and I, we felt deep sadness that we weren't able to be there at that very special moment when you're saying goodbye to loved ones. And so loss is a painful thing, and loving when you're in loss is very hard. But when I reflect on my brother's life, he taught me many things. When we were young, he was 8 years older, so that's quite a difference when you're kids, you know. He probably didn't want an infant around him spoiling his fun, you know. And but one of the things that I learned about my brother was he was always just himself. He never pretended to be something else. And in some ways, when I reflect on his life, I think you're a lucky bugger, you know, because as someone said recently, I've had many different ideas of who I was. And they were all projections of what I thought was a nice image of myself. But my brother Desmond, he just said what he felt. He had this unusual knack unusual gift, maybe we should call it, this unusual gift of expressing his feelings clearly, without hesitation, without reservation. But he expressed his love as well. And so what I learned from Desmond was that acceptance played a great part in his life, a great part in his life. When I got married to Helen, my dear wife, we invited Desmond and his wife to our wedding, and that was a great crack. We thoroughly enjoyed having them there, and of course we then had some meetings at their home in Swaffham, which is Swaffham in Suffolk, where he lived. And their relationship was terrific, just very earthy, very natural, and it was great. And then came a time when, unfortunately, his wife Lil got ill, and that was, of course, another sad day, a day of loss. And we went to that funeral. And when I got there, I must confess I had some kind of selfish concerns. Oh dear, I'm going to have to look after my brother who's going to be alone now. But when I got into the UK, this wasn't a small affair. You know, there were many people at that funeral, and it was very clear that Desmond was loved deeply by all of them. And at that funeral, Desmond let out one little roar, a kind of primordial roar, and he just uttered the simple words, "I've lost a good friend today." And that was very moving for me. And I've lost a good brother today. But I wanted to practice what I preach and share with you that it's okay, that it really is okay to miss somebody. So if you're feeling hurt, it's okay. Feel it, express it, take a deep breath, smile again, and let life go on. Thanks for listening.